Hey, we all know how we're gonna die, baby. We're gonna crash and burn.
Alright guys, this month's first ascent is Wonder Woman issue 175. Don't see too much Silver Age Wonder Woman, especially not in this collection. This week I got a dollar bin haul. So I'm going to flip the camera around real quick here, explain my absence for the last month and a half, 2 months I guess now, but we'll explain it here. Alright guys, first off I want to thank everybody for reaching out to me through Facebook, through Instagram, even on the channel in the comments section. I really appreciate it. People just checking in on me, that was really cool. Beginning of February to first week of March, I was in the hospital for 14 days and multiple doctor's visits. I'm going through all that crap. But I had an infection in my leg. It spread, gave me different other complications that I'm not going to get into. Nobody wants to hear this crap. But I just wanted to let you guys know I'm doing fine. Getting better every day, every week. Exercising, so doing a little better with the diet stuff. So trying to eat healthier so I don't get this coming back again. But I appreciate everybody reaching out again. As for my collection, it really sort of like kicked me in the behind a little bit. Start selling some of the stuff I don't want. How I'm going to sell it, I'm not exactly sure. I'm probably going to do like the flea market or maybe Facebook Marketplace, and some stuff I'm just going to give away. So on this channel, if you've been following this channel, probably be giving some stuff away just to pass it along a little bit. But I need to of course the medical bills and all that shit's going to come in, but it's all good. But as long as you got your health, man, you can work your way out of anything. So, but yeah, again, I just want to say I really appreciate people reaching out to me. It was cool. And sorry I couldn't respond back in a timely manner. I usually pride myself on trying to respond back to messages real quick. But there was some days I was just gone. They had to give me all kind of medicines and stuff that knocked me out for hours. And then when I woke up, I didn't, not even know where the hell you're at and stuff. So all kind of crazy shit, but, but I'm back. But yeah, so let's get back to the haul. We're tired of hearing about sob stories. Let's get something positive, man. Let's check out these dollar books. So there's that. Like I said, we'll get to the dollar bin haul, but let's get to the two from the tomb first. So I'm going to stick with the Silver Age. I'm not going to talk too much here about it. It's already taken up a lot of time. I was looking through my collection and decided to pull out some World's Finest with the Joker on the cover. This is issue 177. Lex Luthor. This is like villains versus villains. Villains versus villains haul. They got another book that's another villains versus villains. But yeah, I remember buying this issue at a local store where they used to write in pencil on the back of the books. So this was one of the first books I spent like a lot of money on back then when I was younger. And I think I paid like $8 or $9 for it, which was insane at the time for me, because that was basically my 2 weeks allowance. But yeah, it's always one of my first big books that I bought. Also, I pulled this one out, another Silver Age book. It's World's Finest, issue 156. It's the first appearance of Bizarro Batman. So if you're looking for something, plus got a pretty cool Kurt Swan video cover. Bear with me, folks. But let's get to our dollar haul of horror. Let's get to our dollar book haul right about now. All right, so this is in my fat stack of dollar comics. Probably the most dollar comics I've bought in years. Recently, even before I got sick, I was starting to limit myself to like $10 per dollar box outing, unless I find something, a bunch of cool stuff. And of course, I'd buy it. But the stuff that I need is way more than $1, so for my collection. But it was nice. I found some good stuff here. So let's go through some of it here. Start off with this one. This is Batman and the Outsiders, issue number 23. The reason why I picked this up, when I first started collecting, back then we didn't have that much money. This is back in '85, so I was probably maybe 11 years old when I got this book. It was one of my first trades with another collector at the time. I forget what I traded him. I think I had I used to get those 3-packs of G.I. Joe second printing books. It was like issue 36. It's one with the Dreadnoks on it. I had 2 or 3 copies of that, believe it or not, at that time. Because I got one for a birthday present, and I ended up having multiple copies. But so the kid and I traded. We traded for this, and he gave me this, and one of the Crisis on Infinite Earths books. Still one with the multiple Supermans on it. I can't remember. I think it's issue 8 or 9 or something like that. But I remember this issue specifically because it was one of those books that I just first probably helped change my tasting books. You can just tell it's already starting off weird and stuff. With Halo. And I just remember just looking at this because I'd never seen a book like this before. Because up to this point, I was buying random issues of G.I. Joe, random issues of Batman, stuff like that. I was basically getting stuff as presents and buying stuff out of the 10-cent box. And there used to be a 10 for $1 box at one of the shops I used to go to. I just remember just seeing all these different characters that I had no idea who they were, but I just thought it was cool. The chick with the the samurai sword. Of course, that's what I was thinking back then. But yeah, it was a good memory, and as soon as I saw it, I had to have it because I've lost it through years of moving and stuff. But nice to have it back in my collection. Brings back a nice memory. Just trading and stuff. It was one of my favorite things to do when I was a kid. Next up, I found a couple one detective comic that I needed for $1. I couldn't pass it up. It's issue 579. I think I'm only one more issue away from recompleting my Norm Brayfogle run. I'm still missing one, and I just can't remember which one it is, but I just got lost through the years. But I owned this before. I don't think it's in my collection anymore. I think I ended up trading it away. But yeah, of course, got the Norm Brayfogle cover. One of my favorite Batman artists. Probably is my favorite, I should just say. Reread this story again for the first time in decades. Yeah, basically the short story of this story is down on his luck. Ex-con goes to this surgeon, and promises him $100,000 to take out his heart to implant on or to transplant. Let's see here if we can see the guy. There he is right there. So he's going to take out his heart right here and put it in him. And he's going to give the family $100,000. I don't know how the hell you can make sure that that happens if you're basically dead. So it's basically dude was killing himself for his family. This is pretty heavy shit for it came out in '87, so you know I was 12 or 13 at the time. So yeah, reading this, they don't make stuff like that anymore. But yeah, I won't give it away in the end. But yeah, I just remember reading this. Like, this nurse cracks me up too, man. She's like, there she is, right there. But yeah, it's great to have this back in my collection. Another book I picked up was I already own this. I think I actually own multiple copies of this book. It's 608 Detective Comics issue 608. I have, like I said, I think I own like 3 or 4 copies of it already, but this was in such nice condition. The only problem with it is, yeah, it looks like I just got back from vacation from down in Florida. You know, I mean, there was like at least like 10 or 15 of them, but this was the nicest looking copy. Uh, it didn't have the other ones had like rust on their staples and just didn't look as great, but you can tell with like the difference. Like this is you know, way off white, and this is pretty much white copy. So, but yeah, another I own a newsstand of this because that's where I bought it from. The Heavy Club. I always get a kick out of like yeah, this is when Norm Brayfogle was coming into his own, but I always get a kick out of like the heavy metal scene in the background, like of all these clubs and stuff in the '80s. You don't see that too much anymore. But yeah, you can see like yeah, Norm Brayfogle was coming into his own now. Uh, it was such a difference because I'd owned like quite a few Batman comics before I started, you know, buying Detective Monthly at the time, and yeah, this is I think the reason why I like Norm Brayfogle because he was the first one that wasn't basically another Neil Adams clone. Maybe towards the beginning of his, you know, you could tell like he's definitely inspired by him in these issues here. But he comes into his own like in these early 600 Detective Comics. Yeah, I really like the character Anarchy too. Wish they wouldn't have screwed him up so much. When I mean that, I mean you know, got really stupid in his solo series and stuff. So not even worth picking up. If you're gonna read anything detective, read the Detective Comics version of that. Next up, another series I'm trying to complete is Supervillain Team Up. This is issue number 11 with Red Skull versus Doctor Doom. I think I'm only about, I think I'm still like 8 or 9 issues. It's only a 17 issue series, but whenever I find them for $1, I always pick them up. Picked up, We Have Demons, issues 1, 2, and 3. With my issues of late, it's going to be one of the things where I just think I'm going to read these, you know, hit it and quit it, yeah. Got great Capullo art in here. That's the only thing I don't want to, you know, give them away, but, or, you know, sell them or whatever, but I can't keep everything. Next up, thought that was a pretty cool cover. Night of the Ghoul by Scott Snyder and Francis Francaveli. Again, this is another one I'm probably, yeah, might try to find the first, because this issue is number 2, so from Dark Horse Comics, but we'll see. Next up is Batman Arkham Dreams, Batman and the Max. I should say the Lost Year Compendium. I believe this is issue 1 of 2, because it reprints, I believe, the mini series that came out a couple years ago. Just love looking at Sam Keith art. This is definitely going to be probably a keeper for me, though. Next up, I'm so glad I didn't buy these off the rack when they came out. This is a Batman One Bad Day. It's the Bane one. The Clayface. The Catwoman. And the Ra's al Ghul. I own the Two-Face one, and I own the Riddler. So I'm not sure. I think there's a Freeze one and maybe a Scarecrow. I can't remember. But for $1, they were originally what were they? $8. You know, that's the thing that pisses me off. You know, like you spend all that money and then it's in dollar bins and like when they just come out. Came out in 2023, you know, so I was happy to find this. The Beef. A biochemical romance. Definitely keep this because for the shaky cane art. Definitely a keeper. Next up, I found Young Blood issue number 2. I think that there's a different color where it says Young Blood. I think I own the pink one, so I'm glad to have this in my collection. I believe there's a new Young Blood series coming. I think Rob Liefeld got the rights back. I haven't really been keeping up with the comic book news lately for for reasons already stated. But yeah, it was great to have this both versions of my collection now. Ended up getting Pit issue number 16. My Pit collection is getting close to completion. I think I'm only like 4 or 5 issues away now. Found this Hellboy issue. What is that? Krampusnacht? By Mike Mignola and Adam Hughes. So you don't get to see too much Adam Hughes interiors. You always see him on covers, but this is some of his interior work here if you haven't never seen it before. Then I found a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man comics. We'll go through these real quick. Got issue 247, 255, 264. Ended up upgrading my copy for $1 of issue 350 with Dr. Doom, Eric Larson on the art there, but I think I almost Eric Larson's entire Amazing Spider-Man run now. I think I'm only missing 1 issue, so issue 351, 352, 366, and last 377. So not too bad for, you know, a little bit of digging. But my dollar bin days are might be ending for a little while here though, but don't get me wrong, I'll always be looking through them, but I won't be spending as much money on them as I've always how I built a lot of my collection, you know. back in 2012, I put up. I did a lot of my Batman and issues 500 to 650. I built it all through the dollar bins, playing catch up. All right, so I did buy a couple of books off the rack before I went into the hospital, but they were at a different shop that I normally go to. So I ended up picking up The Walking Dead, issue number 100 with the Simon Bisley cover. Just had to get it for that reason. I own multiple copies of issue 100, so I don't really need any more. But I thought this was awesome. I'm keeping with the Dead theme. Ended up picking this up for the cover. The interiors, I mean, yeah. I saw this cover, I was like, oh man, this is badass. But then, yeah, looks like almost like a manga. But yeah, this is covered by Mark Spear, so I definitely just bought it for the cover only. Alright guys, appreciate you watching. Sorry if my voice is a little bit messed up. I've been with all the medicines and stuff, so hopefully my voice will be back. I got a couple videos that I didn't release prior to me being in the hospital, so you'll hear me with a normal voice probably next week. I got a Verotic haul that I'm going to show. I meant to put it out almost 2 months ago, but but all right, we'll talk to you next time.